third phase of the moon.
Third phase of the moon. We're calling all UFO hunters all on deck right now. There's going to be the major eclipse coming up on the 21st of this month. And we're asking anybody out there that captures this incredible event, if they get it on video, we want to see it on third phase of the moon, because I just shared a link of the partial eclipse that took place in Los Angeles for the month of May in 2012. We received this video, and go ahead, take a look at this video really closely, because you're going to see some anomalies that absolutely are undescribable of what possibly this could be. This is not, in my opinion, balloons or anything like this. This is something like really close up there by the moon. It almost seems like it either passes by or directly in front of it. I'm not exactly sure what we're looking at. I want to get your guys' opinions of what you think this is going to be coming up. Is there going to be, again, more UFO sightings during these major eclipses being captured around the world? Now, this is going to be happening on August 21st. And basically, no human action can disrupt the innocent dance of the cosmos. The moon shadow will not wait on us any longer. Like a mindless juggernaut, it will plow its way through space toward a collision course with Earth, as predicted by the astronomers. This shadow will arrive perfect, accurate, and touches down on the North Pacific Ocean and local sunrise. And this is going to be seen by millions of people around the world. And there are already people standing or waiting in lines or in traffic jams trying to get to the location. So if anybody out there captures this event, we want to see it. And let me tell you, keep an eye out for that unidentified flying object or multiple flying objects. I guarantee you, we're going to see some amazing stuff coming up on the 21st. Stay tuned to third phase of the moon. We'll be doing daily updates on that day, showing you incredible imagery of the event, and as well as possible, hopefully, UFO sightings. So everybody, we're calling all UFO hunters out there, have your cameras ready, and get a tripod. Get a tripod, because we're set for this. Everybody knows where to be at what time zone, exactly when this is going to go down there. So there should be no reasons you don't have a tripod. So like this shot you're seeing that we just shared on the link right here at Third Phase Moon, this was shot on a tripod. It's not like a UFO sighting. Everybody says, hey, why don't you film UFOs with a tripod? Well, let me tell you, not everybody is walking around with one when a UFO appears in the skies. But in this case, we know exactly what time it's going to be. So get ready, people. Get ready. It's going to be an incredible August 21st. And Third Phase Moon is going to keep you updated in regards to anything that comes down the pike in regards to the phenomenon and UFOs being present. All right, so now let's get to the callers. We're going to be taking callers from around the world tonight, and we want to hear a good story. And if you've got something you want to share, just go ahead. If you called in, just press number 1, and you'll be taken to the top of the call list. Let's start bringing in the calls. Let's see. Area code 727 has made it to the show. You're on live, Third Phase of the Moon. How you doing tonight?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good, good. Are you going to be around where the eclipse is going to be? Are you going to be able to see it with your own eyes?
I'm gonna be out and working, but I got a story to share with you, man.
All right, okay, no problem, man. Let's hear it. Where are you calling in from?
So, wait, what was that?
Where are you calling in from, sir?
Clearwater, well, Safety Harbor, Florida.
Okay, great. Let's hear your story. Appreciate the call in.
All right. So, when I start the story off, most people are like, I'm like, all right, this is a little bizarre, but this isn't going to be bizarre to you. It's going to be a little familiar. But I'm 33. I grew up in Massachusetts, Western Massachusetts, and when I was like as young as I can remember, like probably I would say like I don't know, like 4, probably 5. No, before kindergarten, so like 4. Are you familiar with Jim Sparks?
Jim Sparks, is he Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh,
I've never heard of Jim Sparks. Go ahead.
all
Where are we
right.
going
Well,
with
Jim
this? Go.
Sparks.
Let's hear this.
Well, Jim Sparks, like when he was told his story, I was stunned because like I was like he was like saying word for word, like everything, all these things that happened to me, like my whole life, I believed in ghosts, but it's because when I was sleeping, I used to sleep facing towards the wall, and to this day, as a grown ass man, I can't even do that. Well, I can now, but like I had a hard time my whole life because something tapped me on my shoulder. So when I when I looked, it's an old New England house, creaky floors. I knew it wasn't anyone, playing games. Look under my bed, look in my closet, don't see anything. Well, like a few months later, I get like completely like all my adrenaline, my body. It was in the middle of the day. Something like just appeared in my room. It was like insect looking, like I'm telling you, like it's crazy. But and all the adrenaline, like all my body was just like, I mean, I passed out from the anxiety. I was a little kid, but I chalked that up. I just forgot about it throughout my life or whatnot. Not forgot about it, but kind of like blacked it out or whatever. But as I got older, I always questioned, like, what was that? Like two different incidences, when I was a little kid. And then I started getting like memories coming back. And all the way to this day, about 6 months ago, I've had, interactions with these, like, they're like little beings, but like, I don't know, like the second to last time I came across one, I opened my eyes and there was two of them, and they both like flew out my window. So the reason why I asked you about Jim Sparks is because before that I was like, man, what was that? And then he explained, like, if you research that guy, like he explained word for word, like all the things I've experienced, but like, I don't know, like he explained it better. He explained how they can manipulate matter and go through solids and stuff. So that's when I started like really looking into research and into extraterrestrials and stuff. And basically, like, I one time woke up at 4 a.m, went out in my backyard to smoke a cigarette, and there was like a metallic like ship, like it was like small, it was like the size of a car but like round, like in my backyard. And it was just sitting there, and I finally was like, oh my God, I can show my wife, like I'm not crazy. And then the next thing you know, I woke up. You know what I mean? Like I never got the chance to like wake her up and be like, go look at this. Like I just woke up. Like, so like these things have been like coming to my life throughout my whole life, dude. Like I'm talking like, and I'm 33, man. Like I've had so many experiences, and I share with people at work and stuff, and you know what starts to happen is people start coming out of the woodworks with their stories. You know what I mean? It makes them feel comfortable that, like, because, you get labeled as crazy talking about this stuff. But, I mean, those are, like, the main times, but, like, my encounters, but they're never, like, grays. You know what I mean? They're always, like, these insect things, big, huge ones, and then, or, like, little like blobs or like blurs, like shadows, and they like flew. When I opened my eyes that day, two of them just like, it was almost like I wasn't supposed to open my eyes, and it was just like snap of the fingers, you could see them, and they just were like right out my window. And I always wondered, like, wait a minute, how the heck did that happen? So anyway, so I started researching it, and this guy Jim Sparks explains like how, because when they used to abduct him, he would say they would come through his window. So I was like, that perked my ears up. And then he goes to explain how they have technology and they manipulate matter and, can go through solids and also time travel, so they can go back in history before this house was built into the space, all types of stuff, But more or less the most biggest thing I identified with this guy when he was talking, because I never know how to explain, like, when I had that anxiety and I passed out when I was a little kid when they were in my room. So, like, I never had the words to describe it. Well, this guy is like, when you become, like, in 100 yards away from them, you get goosebumps. And then, the closer you get, like, you're all the chemicals in your body start going out of whack. And, like, he was explaining it word for word what I went through. And this is a story I've been telling my whole life, man. And this is the interview I looked up in 2012. But, I mean, I've been telling my mother, my sister, my father, my wife. I mean, my whole life I've been telling the story, and here this guy is saying it word for word, everything I've been through. I just was blown away. I was floored. But, yeah, man, I mean, I'm, like, in contact. I mean, not verbally or anything like that, but, like, they contact me often. Now, I mean, probably a couple times a year that I remember.
Amazing,
So,
amazing.
let
me ask you this. Okay,
Yeah.
no, I just want to. Some people are asking, can the caller describe these insectoids or maybe mantids? Give us some detail.
Well,
What are these? How large are these things?
all right. So, well, they're pretty big, man. Like one was the size of my garage door. When I went, like all of a sudden I was outside of my room, my bedroom, and I was a little kid, man. And like the whole thing was the size of my garage door. I remember it. And so I mean, they're different sizes, you know. But like I went to a psychiatrist, you know, because like my mom, when I was telling her about this, she's like, "Oh, kids dream, kids have imaginations," and I was like, "No." I was like, "This is in the middle of the day." You know, the time they tapped me, that was at night. The time that they like just appeared in my room, it was just in the middle of the day. I mean, it just happened out of nowhere, you know. So I know I wasn't dreaming 100%, 1,000%. And but yeah, no. So like, I don't know like how to describe them. All I know is they weren't like reptilian, but they weren't like Nordic. They're kind of like evil. They're like negative force, you know. And I try not to like accept that because I don't want to be a part of that. But I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's a real like negative. It's weird. It's just. It wasn't a pleasant experience, you know what I mean? All of them, except for, I mean, I don't know, like the one I saw in my backyard,
Do you feel
the
threatened
ship. I
by
mean,
them?
I just blacked out. Huh?
Do you feel threatened by them? They seem like if they're the size of a garage, they must be around 8 to 9 feet tall, and these things must be
that was
intimidating.
the one. Yeah, that was the one, and I was a little kid back then. Now, I really don't get contacted by them. The ones that come now are like I said, they're like shadows, like, but they're like you can see them, like it's like it was light in my bedroom when I opened my eyes. It was morning, and I opened my eyes and I saw them, and I was caught off guard, and all of a sudden it was like snap of the fingers, like gone, and I was just like wow, and I never shut my eyes back, like I was wide awake. So yeah, that was back when I was a kid, you know, but now I don't see so much the insect ones, but I see I get like contacted like often. You know, when I say often, I mean I think a couple times a year is a lot. Like that's, I mean, when it happens, it's intense. You know, you really do, like your adrenaline goes pumping, and you know, like I blacked out, man. Like I blacked out when I saw the ship in my backyard, and like, man, for like days after, I kept going over there. Like, wait a minute, like, is there something else like sticking out like at night that I don't know about? Like, there's no explanation. Like. And I went back there and I realized the particular location of where that was placed, it was actually like on a tripod, believe it or not. And it was huge. There was no way it was like someone's like project. It was huge. And, well, not huge, but like too big to like just move all over the place, you know. And it was over the fence. But I looked at every house. My neighbor's house, it was blocked by a shed. My back door neighbor, blocked by a shed. My diagonal neighbor, blocked by a tree. Like, I was the only person that could see this one angle where this thing was sitting. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's I've always been listening to your show, following you. I'm a big fan of you, Blake. And I've always wanted to call in and share this because, like, I've shared this with actually a hypnotist. I told him all these stories, but, like, I don't have enough time to, like, I'm kind of, like, just going all over the place, but, like, I sat down with this person and talked to them, and they were like, listen, I'm willing to put you under hypnosis. Like, at first, we're talking a price, and they were like, after hearing your story, like, let's just do this. And I was like, I got two things. I want it to be recorded, for one, and for two, I want my wife present, you know what I mean? So I know that, you know, I've never been under hypnosis. But we ended up losing touch, you know what I mean? But I mean, and because, you know, life happens, and, you know, a lot of like stuff was going on in life at that point. So, but I mean, I'm down for lie detector test, hypnosis, dude, and I'll record it and put it out to the world. Like, this is real. Like, there's no way I can make it up. It's impossible.
This is interesting. Anyway. Are you afraid of going on the camera and recording yourself, showing the people who you really are and what this? Are you okay with that?
Dude, if a hypnotist put me under, right, I will show, because all my whole family's like, oh, you know, they joke about it, you know what I mean? Like that, you know, everyone knows I talk about. But like I want to show them, like, look, this is my subconscious mind. Like, this isn't me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm down to go under hypnosis, and I'll put it all over the internet. I'm not afraid. Like I said, I talk about it in public, you know, with my coworkers and stuff. Like, I'm not afraid of, you know, the energy that the whoever has created to suppress this type of stuff by laughing at or making fun of. Like, I'm not afraid of that energy. I embrace it. Like, listen, y'all can laugh all you want, but you know, when I was working at a restaurant and I was talking about it, maybe four of my coworkers came and pulled me to the side, like, hey, between me and you know what I mean? So, like, hey, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm doing a good deed by, you know, letting myself out and be the real me, so I could allow other people to share their experiences. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that
takes a lot of guts and courage, man. A lot of courage.
Yeah, man. And I also have a friend of mine. When I was sharing this with him, and he's in the military. Like, I don't want to say too much because, like, you know what I mean? But he's full blown. Like, at first he always laughed at me at work, and then finally, like, one day he pulled me aside and he's like, listen, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I've been in contact too. And we went and had a cigar, man, and you know, he told me a story which is like, I don't even want to share it. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, I'll share the time, but I'm saying another day. You know what I'm saying? If you want, I'll call or email you or get him in. I mean, his story blows mine away. I mean, his contacts were like, he remembers all of it, you know, but me, I don't. Like, my body, like, blacks out every time.
Let's talk about that experience. You said your body blacked out. A lot of people do claim this kind of Oz factor where you completely lose control of your body when you witness something like this. So this craft was in your backyard, right? Can you explain to us, like, how long did this last? How did you feel? What did the craft look like? We want to hear details like this.
So when I go out, right, it's about 4 a.m. I go out, I smoke a cigarette, I just light it, I look up, and it's just right there, dude. It's like not even, it's like 40 yards away. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm looking at it, and I'm like, dude, that is like just straight metallic. There's no way around it. It was just like metallic, dude. Like, you could see it. And it was actually above the fence. So I'm just assuming it was on a tripod. I didn't actually see the tripod, but it was like above my fence, but just above it. And when it all clicked and I was like, holy shit, I'm like, I gotta go get my wife. And next thing I know it, bang, I woke up. And I know I wasn't dreaming about having a cigarette because, like, I mean, the next day was like, oh, and another thing that happens to me too is, like, after that, you know, I'd get like little flashbacks, you know, and I always tell my wife, like one time I had a flashback of like that after that particular experience, and it was of my dog's stomach, and there was 3 fleas on it. So I told my wife, I called her, and I was actually thought I was being a smart, you know, I was kind of playing the trick, and I was like, hey, I'm telling you right now, I bet you Chico comb them out. I bet you has fleas. Almost like I was 1,000% positive. She went to go comb them out. She thoroughly combed them, no fleas. And I'm thinking, how the hell is that possible? Because I saw it was like zipped right in my mind. That's how it works. Like it comes and goes, like little flash memories. So then I realized things are like medical too, you know. So like maybe they removed them. That's the only thing I could think of. But yeah, so anyway, that's just like a flashback from like a week after that incident. But yeah, so I mean, I don't remember much, man. It was about 45 seconds long because once I realized what it was, I was like, man, I could finally show my wife. That was the last thought I remember, and that was it. But I remember 1,000%. I'm 100%. Like, I woke up, walked out, lit a cigarette. I mean, I was fully aware. I mean, I know dream state and I know real state. Like, I was 100% aware. But as soon as I got wicked anxiety as I was going to go get her, and that's it. I don't remember anything. But the first incident, I could tell you, it felt like 2 trains were on one side of my ear and the other side of my ear. I mean, it was like my whole body was rumbling, and then bang, I just blacked out. That's when I was like a little kid. I was like probably 5 years old, and these things were in my bedroom. You know what I mean? Like, out of nowhere, it just appeared, and that was in the daytime. It wasn't at night. Because a lot of people are like, oh, you're dreaming. You know what I mean? No, it was day. I was actually playing with my toys. I vividly remember it. And then out of nowhere, you know, like this guy Jim Sparks describes, you know, when you get real close, like I think the way he worded it was like all your, not chemicals, but like I guess, like, the chemicals in your body, they all just, like, dump all at once in your body. And that was, like, as he was saying that, I was like, wow, like, finally someone was able to articulate how I felt, because the way I always described it was, like I didn't know how to say it, you know what I mean? But, like, he was able to articulate exactly word for word what I experienced. Not to mention after that, the things going through the walls and stuff, like, I always believed in ghosts, actually. My whole life I believed in ghosts that tapped me on my shoulder. And that, that experience, because, I was never no one talked about extraterrestrials and stuff. But, my whole life for a long time, I believed in ghosts until I started really saying, wait a minute, what the heck was that? And I started really looking into it. And that's when I come across these stories on the internet, like Betty and Barney Hill, Jim Sparks. Now, I looked into Jim Sparks, and some people say, oh, he's trying to get a movie deal. And I'm like, well, if he's trying to get a movie deal, then how the hell did he explain literally word for word everything I went through? But more. He actually remembers a lot of his abductions, which I remember not much at all. And when I do, it comes back in like little flashes, like little clips. So I'll just be driving, all of a sudden, like bang, like it'll pop in my mind.
Interesting.
After,
very,
yeah.
It does. I'm sure everybody listening right now has had the exact same experience as you with this kind of like, not the extreme close encounters with cryptid beings or, extraterrestrial spaceship in one's backyard. No, I'm just talking about everybody could relate with almost this deja vu or a future kind of event, and it all seems like there's a connection being made, and you make that connection a little bit later on, and it's like, wow, did that make sense?
Well,
or,
when
I
get those,
very
when I get those little flashes, like when I get them in abundance, like a lot of times it'll happen like throughout the day. That's when I know, like, wow, I was freshly, visited. You know what I mean? Like maybe in the past 6 months. Actually, I've been saying 6 months for a while. For like the past 8-9 months now, I haven't been getting any experiences like that, and I think it's because I've been so vocal. I feel like it's almost like, when you talk, the more you talk about it, the more like they don't. I think they don't want you talking about it. You know what I mean, or something like that. Because the more I talk about it, the less it happens. It's so weird.
All right. Well, stick around. We're gonna go to break. We got more callers. Maybe they got some questions for you, and we'll be taking some callers from around the world. It looks like we got an area code 901 that's been hanging on, and if anybody's got questions for this caller, he's got some experiences, no doubt about it. And also, don't forget, UFO Hunters out there, August 21st. The solar epic events happening. We want to see your videos. Blake Cousins, we'll be right back. Third Phase Moon, we're back taking your calls, and this last caller, his experience and his way of sharing it with us, you could almost feel like you could relate with him. We see and hear in his voice that it seems very genuine. There's a lot of people out there that say, hey, we had all these people that call into Third Phase Moon are actors. This is all a big setup. Let me tell you, it has not ever happened once on Third Phase Moon. All the people that call in are genuine people, in my belief. and we leave it up to you to decide. But, in my opinion, I believe pretty much everybody that calls in, especially when you hear it like the way this caller's just explained their story. So that's what I really like. Now, that caller's still with us, but let's see if we could get another story in quickly, or maybe if they've got a question for the previous caller. Let's get to it. Area code 901. You're live, third phase of moon.
Hello?
Yep, you're on. How you doing?
Good. I just have a quick story that happened to me a few weeks back. So I was walking to my friend's house as I saw this light in the sky, and I knew it wasn't an airplane because I saw an airplane pass a couple minutes earlier, and you could actually see the airplane flashing, and this object wasn't moving like an airplane. Like, I didn't think it was an airplane at first, or as it got to the edge of the tree line from where I was standing, it took a very sharp turn and started coming towards me, and then I saw it disappear, and it kept on appearing a little bit in front of where it disappeared, and as I started to record on my phone, I didn't get to capture it on my phone. As I started to record, it shot to the left, turned red, and shot straight up and just disappeared.
That sounds like a pretty cool experience. 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago.
So you try to get your camera out. Let me ask you, did you hear anything? Could it have been a drone? What makes
No,
you've
I don't
seen
think
drones
it was
at
a
night.
drone.
Why don't you think it was a drone? What's your thoughts on that?
Because it was moving like way faster than an airplane, and it was moving way too fast to be a drone.
All right, man. Well, hey, next time that thing comes back, get that camera. And, good try in capturing it. Appreciate you sharing this. Could you tell us what town this was captured in and what state? And about what time and
Lakeland,
what day?
It was in Lakeland, Tennessee at about like 8:30 or 9 o'clock p.m.
All right, man. Appreciate you calling in. And definitely,
All
are you
right,
going to be seeing the eclipse? Are you going to be seeing the eclipse yourself?
Yeah.
Well, if you be safe when you look up there, and I hope you got the glasses. But I got a feeling there might be some UFO activity. There's going to be some UFO activity that day, I imagine. So keep your eyes on the skies, man. Thanks for calling in.
All right, see ya. Oh yeah, and on your.
Let's see. What was that?
I subscribed to your YouTube channel.
Oh wow! Wow! Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. You've been subscribed for a year. All right.
For about, I think.
About a year. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. We love all our subscribers and the people that call in. That's so cool. That's why we open up the lines. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, let's see. Let's bring back. Let's see what 937 area code 937. I think is the next up on the. Yeah, there we go. 937. You there? You're live on Third Phase of Moon.
Hi, Blake.
Hey, how's it going?
Can you hear me?
Got you loud and clear. Yeah.
I just wanted to share a story that happened back in 2012. I've lived around Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio my whole life.
Okay.
Okay. I've never seen anything spectacular until 2012. I was driving home on 70 East, and my wife says, she's sitting in the passenger seat, she says, look to your right. I click up in the sky. I looked up, and I see the triangular craft, and I've done some research, and I think it's a TR-3B. I could be mistaken on that. But it had three lights on each corner of the triangle. Probably like I think it was like an amber-colored light, and this lasted for about 5 seconds. I was going about 70 on the highway. I'm looking at it, and it was hovering over like a light tower or like an electrical tower. And then a few seconds went by, and I looked again. It had just gone away. I don't know if it went invisible or it just, shot out of there too quick, but I was driving too fast to, get too much more detail.
You're saying it hovered over an electrical tower? Like it just wanted, what would it want to do that for, I wonder? Is that right?
So weird, Blake. It was just hovering there. My wife was like, look, like I was just driving like 70 miles an hour, and I looked to the right, and she was just flabbergasted. My stepson was in the back seat. He saw it too, and we couldn't explain it, and we went home and tried to submit a story online, and we never heard anything back from anybody. And I've been trying to get through to like Coast to Coast and other places for a couple of years, but haven't been able to. And I discovered your
Appreciate that.
Thank you. I discovered your YouTube like about a month ago, and now I saw that you have this live radio show, and I tried calling in tonight, and thank God I got through.
Yeah, that's amazing, and this is quite incredible because you have how many people were in the vehicle with you at that time, seeing
3.
the exact same thing you saw? 3.
Yeah, it was me, my wife, and my stepson. Blake, I don't have any explanation for. I mean, it was a triangular craft. It was bright daylight, just hovering. It was huge. I mean, it was up in the sky. And I've been doing some research. You look it up, and I don't know if this is factual information, but there's a theory that it could be a government reverse engineered craft. I've even heard that from the secret space program that they could be the ones that are actually going up servicing the bigger fleets that are up in space. I don't know if that's factual based or not, but
well,
just a theory that I've researched.
Well, these are the facts that we know. We've received, hundreds of videos of the exact same kind of craft that you're basically describing, which basically confirms that they're out there. And then there's thousands and thousands of reports of people seeing this massive triangular craft that's basically stealth black, but it has these 3 points of light on each tip, and then this kind of an amberine glowing in the middle. And this thing makes no sound, and they call it the TR-3B. So, but your story is pretty interesting too because you wanted to go public in a way. And what happened?
Yeah, I wanted to get it out there, man, because
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I wanted to get it out there. I've told like everybody when they have they see something, they tell their friends and family. I've told my close circle, but other than doing research online and trying to call these radio shows, this is the first one I've been able to get a hold of to get my story out. But I try Coast to Coast like every night, and it's like impossible to get through.
Oh, yeah, and then they also screen the calls as well too, and we don't screen any calls.
What's cool, and then Coast to Coast, they have people on all the time. You're talking about that triangular craft. I'm like, holy crap, I've actually seen one. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I just wonder if anybody else has seen one. Maybe call in too. If anybody's listening, call in and share their experience about if they've seen one.
Well, absolutely. And you could also just go into our Third Phase Moon YouTube channel, punch in TR3B within the channel search, and there's a lot of great stories and videos of this craft that you're describing. Would you be willing to maybe come on video and your family to explain this sighting? Would you be up for doing that? There's a lot of things about talking about it, but when people have guts to actually come on camera and say, hey, the main thing is you don't know what this is, but you're just describing exactly what you saw, and there's nothing that people should be afraid of that. But
I mean, I could even I could do a Skype, and I'm not a very good artist, but I can maybe get somebody to draw a rendition of what I saw or something.
Well, yeah. Well, we're working on a documentary in the works, and what we're doing is basically telling people stories. And sometimes when the cameras aren't being, there's no photographic evidence. It's like the eyewitness testimony and the real people explaining it in front of a camera. then there's no, then it's pretty much, this is about a journalistic job as one can do. So that's what we've been working on. And we've got some amazing, great cases that we're working on. We're looking forward to sharing that with the world here soon. But yeah, maybe if you wouldn't mind, could we give you a call sometime, maybe later in the week, and talk about possible collaborations to get your story out in a big way?
Oh, absolutely. Well, and what's cool is I it's so close to Right Pat. It was only about 20 minutes away from Right Pat, and you got to scratch your head and wonder: is this something maybe the bases has, and they're just testing it out, or I don't know. You can go a lot of different ways with it, but it just leaves me scratching my head every day I think about it.
It'll be declassified one of these days. It's already in operation. It's a fact that it exists. It's just they're not letting us know publicly that it exists. But we all know,
and that's
just
what
like
scares me, because what else is
that's
out there? What else are they working on?
Oh, they got to be
not
working
letting anybody else know about.
Yeah, well, that's the way we do it. They've been always doing it. They've been always 40 years ahead of us before we were born. So they're probably now, I'd say, more like 100 years ahead of us, maybe even 1,000 years ahead of us, and they're suppressing a lot of that. And they don't think we're ready for it. But I believe we are. So, but it's trickling down in a weird way, but at least we still get to talk to people and have this open communication as best as we possibly can.
Well, I appreciate you guys doing this and opening up the lines for people, because this is really the only platform, I had to reach more than just my close circle. So, yeah, I appreciate it.
Well, we'll be keeping in touch. Yeah, we'll be keeping in touch. Look for the area code from area code 808. Can I get your first name just so we can put it on?
Yeah, it's Ryan.
All right, Ryan, we got you. Okay, we're going to get some more callers.
All
Appreciate you calling in. We'll keep in touch.
All right, thanks, brother. Keep up the good work.
We will. We'll do our best. We'll do our best. And, it's the people like you that really help the whole movement of this third phase of moon phenomenon, and, everybody talking about UFOs. And, we're the first on basically YouTube doing this. The originating guys of sharing one's evidence, gaining people's trust to share their videos and sharing it. Let's get some more callers right now. Let's see. I think we got an area code 561. How you doing tonight?
Remember when I told you about the TR3A? There's different code names, like the Astra and the Black Manta. And okay, well, I was going to go more in depth about it. It's been used since the Gulf War, and somehow they have a sonar tracking device, and they have a heat-seeking ray, whatever, and also with thermal tracking. Some of them have secret, right inside these crafts. I can see a whole control system in there, and there's astronomic pilots.
Hello? Okay, that was dropped out. It was a little weird. Did you hear that? It's so scratchy. Static. Yeah, there you are. 0727, you're with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, welcome back to the show. You're still coming in loud and clear. That's good. Okay, good. All right, so you've been with us for about 45 minutes now. What do you think of that last caller and his experience with the TR3B? Did you see any triangular shaped craft, or was yours you said it was metallic, but you didn't kind of describe the shape of it?
It was like the size of a car, but round, trim off the, a little bit out the front, a little bit off the back, fill in the sides. It's about that size round. And actually, Betty Hill, she said that she, later on in life, she would go out and, hunt, UFOs or contact them or whatnot. And she actually has a photo. So if you look up Betty Hill lost tapes on the fifth tape, because it's 10-minute segments, on the fifth photo, and check this out. I saw this photo way after I shared this with my wife. When this happened with my wife, it was probably in 2010 or 11. No, might have been 12 actually. But when I talked to my wife about it, I didn't ever see this. I didn't see the lost tapes of Betty Hill yet. And when I saw the lost tapes, I almost damn near had a heart attack because I saw she has a photo. If you look on the 5th segment of the Betty and Barney Hill lost tapes on YouTube, she has a photo of literally same size, same looking one, and it was on tripods, but it was low to the ground. Mine was raised way up above the fence. You still there?
So yeah, I'm here. I'm hearing like buzzing in the background. I'm not. Somebody has a buzzer. Is that coming from our end?
Oh.
Anyway,
no, that was
so
me. I was getting a text.
No problem. So, no problem. So this thing was, you basically say, was hovering above the fence. Did you? Or either that or on a tripod.
No,
what makes you think it's on a tripod?
Man. Because
like,
I was
you
thinking
think it landed. Like it landed
like
with
it was behind. Yeah, like it was behind the fence, and it was just sitting there steady, like it wasn't wobbly or anything. So I just assumed that it was on the pods. And then when I saw the Betty and Barney Hill tapes, and I saw that on the 5th segment, she actually has a framed photo that she took of one, and it's really hard to see because it was night, but it was like it was green looking, but you could actually see in the photo she has, it's on like 3 little pods. So then I put it together, and I'm like, oh, that's how it was there. Like, I don't think it was hovering because there's a tree that was right above it, and then there was a fence right next to it and a shed. I mean, it was like sandwiched in this little small area. And for like days after, I would go over to the fence and look over it thinking like, wow. And then at nights after, I would go out and look like maybe was I seeing a reflection or something, but then I'm like, no, there's no way, man. That thing was sitting right there. Like, you know, I guess like, I don't know, like a natural denial kicked in. Like I'm trying to find an explanation for it, you know, and I just can't find one because then, you know, that's how I know it was 100% real. But like I said, that's like one of the multiple times that I've been not like contacted in a way of like communication, but like in contact throughout my life. So like, you know, first time, okay, tapping on my shoulder, oh yeah, kid's dream. Second time, broad daylight. Third time, I mean, it just keeps going. I mean, there's no way there's that many coincidences or unexplained stories, man. I mean, I'm 100% convinced that there, in some way, maybe it was just random. I don't know. I talk to everyone in my family, and I ask everyone, hey, you know, have you had an experience or anything? And nobody, you know, everyone laughs, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know. It's unexplainable, man. But like I said, man, send me a top-notch hypnotist or therapist or whatever.
Not a hypnotist.
I'll go right under.
No, you don't want to. You got to watch out for those hypnotists. They have their own agenda. This is a hypnotic regression expert. So it's
yeah.
These guys are kind of specialized in. Yeah, so you got to look for the hypnotic regression experts. There's a few out there. You just put that in a search, and there'll be a few that pop up. I don't know if these guys do it voluntarily or if there's a charge or maybe if there's some expert in your neighborhood. If there's somebody in your neighborhood,
I just want to get it.
If there's some kind of small fee or whatever, right? And you know, maybe we could help out, get it done, but we need to get it. We need to get it on camera and document this whole storyline. So then we can really give the story out. So you do your research on that, and you got my email address. It's out there everywhere. So hook me up. Find me a hypnotic regression expert in your area. Let's get this thing done, and we'll talk about how we could get your story. And because once people start coming forward, let me tell you, just like the callers tonight, yourself and the other caller, it's about sharing one's experience. And these experiences aren't going to be shared unless other people get to hear that, hey, this isn't just happening to me. Because like you're saying, you can't just talk about this in your job. They're going to go, hey, between you and me, man, tone it down, right?
Yeah. Well, just one more thing before I finish listening to your show, I want to tell you, I live in the Clearwater area, and MacDill Air Force Base is over here, and every single day, day in and day out, all hours of the day, dude, they're in and out with the helicopters, with everything, man. Like, there's a lot of military activity going on here at MacDill. I mean, on a daily, every day, all day. I mean, I don't know if it has anything to do. I mean,
like
I guess
weird
security, I guess.
Like, I got you. Do you think that they're experimenting with extraterrestrial craft like the TR-3B within that area as well?
I don't know, because I haven't seen one and I haven't heard of anyone. Oh, but I'll tell you one I saw at work one time, real quick, 2 seconds. My buddy Spencer, I was working with him at a restaurant, and there was a lightning storm, and he was out just trying to capture a lightning bolt on picture on his phone. So when you hit that the quick shot one that snaps like 50 shots in a row. Well, he caught one, and a lightning bolt, and there was a big old bright light on the left side, and then he showed me the lightning bolt, and then we saw the light, and we're like, oh, that's cool, it's a cool shot. Well, at the end of the shift, he's like, dude, you got to check this out, because he's into the same stuff. I've shared my stories with him, and he's into the same stuff. He showed me this bright light goes from one side of the bolt to the other in a matter of 10 quick shot snaps, and then to the top, up, and then all the way back over again. So it's like, I know damn well it wasn't a plane. I know for sure it wasn't a star. And, I mean, unless someone's out flying drones in the middle of a lightning storm in a triangular form, he is fully convinced that he caught a UFO, and it was so far away that it looked like a star, but it was just super bright, But he's got it on his camera, and if I can get a hold of him, which I'm sure I can, I'll email him to you, the different frames, But he's got it where the thing's moving literally in less than in seconds all over the board, That's just another more recent.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. Send it over. We want to see it. We'd like to see it all. That's for sure. That's what we do. We share the information as it comes in, and we put it out as fast as it possibly can.
Oh, I know. I love your channel.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, that channel puts out a lot of good information, and what frustrates me is when I hear these haters or people call saying it's fake, this, that, and the other. It's like, that's a form. People been conditioned to say that, to suppress information. People need to wake up, man. We've been conditioned to laugh. If you go out and look at the sky, all your neighbors look at you and say you're crazy. But why is it crazy to look at the sky?
Oh, yeah, and people will even say, and this is quite interesting, and again, we're calling all the UFO hunters out there, they're going to say this, that the eclipse is fake. So, there's a lot of... it's quite amazing, but there's a lot of celestial events that are going on, and some people will say some crazy things, but we're looking for people out there to get some really good video of that, and look out for anomalies, because there's going to be something that's going to go down that day for sure. Besides the eclipse itself, will be amazing, and we're going to share all that stuff on Third Phase of Moon, but we're going to be reporting on UFOs that entire day, just because I got a feeling people are going to be looking up, millions of them. Everybody's going to have their camera, so it's a good time because they're always out there. It's just people aren't aware.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I know, the awareness level. But I see it rising rapidly, to be honest with you. Throughout my research in the past 6 years, I see the awareness level going up fast. A lot of people, even people I've shared my stories with, they start off laughing, but in the end they're asking me 100 questions. Well, wait a minute, I thought I was crazy. Now you want to hear about it. You know what I mean?
Very good, very good. Well, I appreciate you calling in for sure, and we've got both our contacts from our callers, and tonight, because we're going to follow up on them, because they're really great stories, and they need to be shared. So we're going to be keeping in touch. Appreciate you calling in, and any last words? No,
I'm here to listen, man. I'm here to listen to the show. I love you, bro. I love what you're doing, man. God bless you. Alien bless you.
Thank you, man. We appreciate it. We'll take it anywhere we could get, and if you aliens ever want to come and visit, don't worry. I'm ready. And my brother, he has his camera, and he actually knows how to shoot pretty well. Don't mind if he comes along, because we could document the whole thing and share it to the world as fast as possible. You know, that's what we do at Third Phase Moon. So all you avians and insectoids and reptilians, we'll bring the reptilians on. That's fine. The Dracos, the alien Greys. I would prefer the alien Greys. But let me tell you, I'm really not joking. This is serious business. That I believe that they're out there, and they really need to step it up and show themselves prevalent to the world on August 21st. It's coming around the corner. Have your cameras ready, Blake Cousins. We'll see you next week, Friday.